15 plus movies you didn't know Hulk Hogan starred in. 1. A wrestling icon crosses over. Terry Gene Bollea, better known as Hulk Hogan, earned his fame as one of wrestling's biggest stars in the 1980s and beyond. But by the early 1980s, his larger-than-life persona and charisma caught the attention of Hollywood. His first notable on-screen appearance was in Rocky III, 1982, where he played the hulking Thunderlips, headlining a memorable exhibition match with Sylvester Stallone's Rocky Balboa. That cameo opened doors for Hogan in the film world, even as his wrestling career soared. To filmography overview, over 15 films and counting. Though many summaries mention over 15 films, Hogan's IMDb and filmography entries list around a dozen feature films, plus cameos and voice roles, spanning the 1980s to the 2010s. Key movie appearances include Rocky III, 1982, Thunderlips, a standout cameo. No Holds Barred, 1989, Rip Thomas, his first starring role. Gremlins 2, The New Batch, 1990, cameo as himself. Suburban Commando, 1991, Shep Ramsey. Mr. Nanny, 1993, Sean Armstrong. Spy Hard, 1996, Cameo. The Secret Agent Club, 1996, Ray Chase. Santa with Muscles, 1996, Blake. The Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain, 1998, Dave Dragon. The Ultimate Weapon, 1998, Cutter. McKinsey's Island, 1998, Joe McGray. Muppets from Space, 1999, Cameo. Little Hercules, 2009, Zeus. Romeo and Juliet, 2011, voice as Terra Firminator. Some counts include made-for-TV films like Assault on Devil's Island, 1997, and its sequel Assault on Death Mountain, 1999, which bring the total acting credits even higher. Given this range, stating over 15 films is accurate, even conservative, depending on whether TV movies or voice roles are included. The Spotlight on Suburban Commando, 1991. Suburban Commando, released in 1991, is one of Hogan's better-known starring roles and one the user specifically asked about. He plays Shep Ramsey, an interplanetary soldier who unexpectedly crash lands on Earth and must lay low with a suburban family until his spaceship recharges. Plot and premise: Shep, recovering from a failed mission, becomes stranded in a suburban home. The humor centers on his fish-out-of-water adjustments to everyday Earth life, interacting with family members and meddling in local squabbles. The movie features comedic talents like Christopher Lloyd as the befuddled father and Shelley Duvall as the alarmed mother. Critical and audience reception: Rotten Tomatoes rates it at around 15% critic approval. Critics largely panned it as campy and lacking refinement. Audience reviews are more mixed, with some nostalgic fans calling it a hilariously underrated gem, praising Hogan's charm and chemistry with Lloyd. On Reddit, fans expressed divided opinions, but a number called it fun. Suburban Commando was great, and it's pretty good. Box office and legacy: made on an $11 million budget, it grossed just under $8 million in the US, making it a commercial disappointment. Nonetheless, it remains emblematic of Hogan's 1990s era of family-friendly B-movie ventures. 4. Other notable films. No Holds Barred, 1989, Hogan's first starring vehicle. He plays Rip Thomas, a wrestler battling a nefarious TV executive who creates a violent clone to undermine him. The film was produced by Hogan and Vince McMahon. Critics dismissed it as bland, though it later gained a cult following in wrestling circles. Mr. Nanny, 1993. Hogan portrays Sean Armstrong, a former fighter hired to guard the children of a widowed tycoon. Intended as family comedy, the movie failed commercially. 4.3 million gross versus $10 million budget, and scored just 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. Gremlins 2, The New Batch, 1990. Hogan makes a cameo as himself, fitting into the film's satirical Hollywood world. The sequel was more playful than dramatic, and his cameo is brief, but memorable. Santa with Muscles, 1996. Hogan plays Blake Thorne, who believes he is a corporate executive with amnesia until Christmas. A low-budget holiday comedy with characteristic Hogan antics and campy humor. Spy Hard, 1996. A parody of spy movies starring Leslie Nielsen. Hogan appears in a cameo as a wrestler. The cameo is brief but fits the film's tongue-in-cheek tone. The Secret Agent Club, 1996, and Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain, The Ultimate Weapon, 1998, McKinsey's Island, 1998, Muppets from Space, 1999. These films span genres from family action to comedy to adventure, with Hogan occupying both leads and cameos. For instance, he plays Dave Dragon in Three Ninjas, Cutter in The Ultimate Weapon, and appeared as himself in Muppets from Space. Made-for-TV movies Assault on Devil's Island, 1997, and Assault on Death Mountain, 1999. Hogan stars as a commando leading military-style rescue missions. These made-for-TV action flicks were produced in the wake of WCW's Nitro franchise, casting Hogan in a more serious action hero mold, though still in low-budget format. Voice roles and later cameos. Hogan later lent his voice to animated films such as Little Hercules, 2009, and Romeo and Juliet, 2011, as the Terraforminator, showing his willingness to diversify into voice acting. 5. Assessing the acting legacy. A genre of B-movies. Most of Hogan's film projects fall into the low-budget, campy realm of B-movies or family comedies. Critics often cited weak scripts and wooden acting. Rotten Tomatoes ratings reflect this trend. No Holds Barred, 10%. Suburban Commando, 15%. Mr. Nanny, 6%. Fan appreciation and nostalgia. Despite critical derision, many fans remember these movies fondly for their kitsch value and Hogan's undeniable charisma. A Reddit user quipped, "The mustacheless Hogan in Assault on Devil's Island is giving me strong Charles Dance impersonator energy." Others called Suburban Commando great fun and, like a childhood favorite, cultural impact. Hogan's screen persona built on his wrestling image. Muscle-bound, heroic, and unabashedly showy. Even his so-called flops reinforced his cultural identity as the Hulkster and introduced him to audiences beyond the wrestling fan base. 6. Why Suburban Commando Still Matters. A representative Hogan movie. Among his leading roles, Suburban Commando best encapsulates Hogan's cinematic niche. A blend of sci-fi, comedy, family, and action elements. Hogan as a literal stranger in a strange land, navigating suburban misadventures. Interplay with a strong supporting cast, especially Christopher Lloyd and Shelley Duvall. Nostalgic appeal in the 2020s. Decades after its release, the film is still discussed for its nostalgic charm. Some reviewers say that in spite of its cheesy production values, it has enduring comedic gold and heart. 7. Summary table of Hogan's feature films. Year, title, role format. 1982 Rocky III Thunderlips cameo film. 1989 No Holds Barred Rip. Thomas Led film. 1990 Gremlins 2 The New Batch himself cameo film. 1991 Suburban Commando Shep Ramsey lead film. 93 Mr. Nanny Sean Armstrong lead film. 96 Spy Hard cameo film. 1996 The Secret Agent Club Ray Chase lead film. 1996 Santa with Muscles Blake Thorne lead film. 98 Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain Dave Dragon lead film. 1998 The Ultimate Weapon Cutter lead film. 98 McCincy's Island Joe McRae lead film. 1999 Muppets from Space himself cameo film. 2009 Little Hercules Zeus lead film. 2011 Romeo and Juliet Terraforminator voice role film. 1997 Assault on Devil's Island lead TV movie TV genre crossover. 99 Assault on Death Mountain lead TV movie TV sequel. This tally makes well over 15 productions when TV movies and voice roles are counted. 8. How Suburban Commando fits into Hogan's broader legacy. The comedic hero. Hogan's persona works well in outlandish premises where physicality meets absurdity. Suburban Commando is him as cosmic hero, superhuman but clueless, moral but bumbling. It plays to his strengths, presence, and physical comedy. Part of a pattern. Through the 1990s, Hogan consistently headlined children's films and family comedies, often with little critical success but solid audience recognition. Titles like Santa with Muscles, Mr. Nanny, and The Ultimate Weapon all follow similar formulas, a reflection of his brand. Hogan's film choices reflected his public image. All-American, cartoonishly muscular, family-oriented, and never too serious. Even in cameos like Gremlins 2, he played himself. His brand was the attraction. 9. Final reflections. Saying Hogan acted in over 15 films is accurate and defensible, especially when counting TV movies and animated voice roles. While mainstream critics largely dismissed his movies, especially No Holds Barred, Suburban Commando, and Mr. Nanny, these films resonated with fans seeking nostalgic charm and campy fun. Suburban Commando stands out as a prime example of Hogan's on-screen presence in the early 90s. Imaginative, comedic, and firmly rooted in his wrestling identity. Though not cinematic masterpieces, these films expanded Hogan's cultural footprint beyond the wrestling ring, making him a recognizable face in pop culture, kids' entertainment, and genre fare. 10 quick takeaways. Hogan's film career spans approximately 14-16 feature films, plus several TV movies and voice roles. Suburban Commando remains one of his most memorable starring vehicles, a sci-fi comedy where Hogan plays Shep Ramsey, an alien warrior stranded on Earth. Critical reception was poor, but audience nostalgia and fan affection have given these projects a second life. Hogan injected his wrestling persona into each role, physically strong, morally upright, and ultimately entertaining even when the production values were modest.